I have a Mustang. These guys are gonna try building it for 10K or less. Welcome back to Boost.
Boost! Like he said, we hypothetically speaking have a 2024 stock 5.0 base model, everything's base. We hypothetically also have $10,000 that we would like to spend on our Mustang.
Hello, this is the first time I've ever been in the studio alone. This is weird. Right off the bat, I know this car doesn't have a tune, so that's gonna make things 1,100 times harder. Ideally, you'd take a Mustang and you make you put boost on it, you make it a race drag build, whatever. You can't really do that yet on the S650s. So I know John hit us in the group chat with this. I might make this a street race daily. I don't know. You can't do much to it. Shane is catless with an X pipe, and it has a check engine light, and we think it runs rich. So I think I'm going to avoid doing that. If I want to do an S650 street race build, I'm thinking, I know this car makes 450 horsepower stock, and it's already really quick. It's already faster than a lot of the cars out there on the road. It's got the stock 5.0. It's got the new worked intake with the dual throttle bodies. So I'm not going to touch the intake. I might do an exhaust, but I'm not going to go catless like he did. So, oh wow. Not as expensive as I thought. I might run this MBRP exhaust setup. $575.99. The next thing I think absolutely needs to be addressed is the handling. We're gonna focus on weight reduction and suspension. We can get wheels that are lighter for not that much money. Oh yeah, Apex sells wheels and they don't look bad at all. Oh my God, you can get them in bronze. Oh, if you know anything about me, I'm a slut for the black and bronze concept. Holy shit, these things are back ordered until October. I'm gonna write that down, but we're gonna act like I have them right now for $21,560, and we'll put a star just in case I want to make them cheaper. So we're $2,300 in right now. We haven't even touched suspension, so it's kind of getting a little dicey already. I would definitely want to lower this thing. Tire size, what are people running? Let's check forums. Indy 500 tires, holy shit. Holy shit, they're kind of a lot though. You know what? I think it's fine for the concept of this build that we can splurge on tires like this. Oh, those are Cup 2s. So the Cup 2s are we'd spend $2,000 on tires and we'd be at halfway already. So I think honestly going for the $1,000 set or the 823 set, the Indy 500s, I think is the play here. It's just under $1,000. We have a lot of room to play with for coils. Ooh, we could get a really good set of coils from a really good brand. But I definitely also want to stop the hop kit. We get to kind of pick the color here too. I think we're going to go with these Bilsteins. Roush sells a set, it looks like, but it also, are they interchangeable? Can we put S650 parts on the S650? Because if we can, that changes the game. Or we could get these and then go find a stop the hop kit. Let's do that. Let's do these Bilstein B16 front rear adjustable coilover kit. We're at $5,700, and we also got to stop the hop kit is $1,399.95. And I definitely want S650 wing. Yeah, there it is. Rear spoiler for perfect. This is literally it. This is literally what I was talking about. I think this wing looks great. The black with the lowered with the bronze wheels and this spoiler, I think is going to look so clean. I'm starting to get a little excited to pitch this to him. So far at $7,500, we have a catback exhaust. We have wheels, tires. We have Bilstein coils, a Steed to stop the hop kit, and the Fomoco Ford Performance wing. I think this car's coming together really nicely. I think one of the final touches I want to add is a front splitter. AmericanMuscle.com sells actually a really good looking, I would run this. It comes with kind of like a side canard. I would definitely run this for $159. You get a front splitter. I have about $2,300 to play with. I want to look at carbon fiber. Hood for S650. Anyone make one yet? Yes. Ford Mustang OE style carbon fiber hood. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Wow. So for $1,377, I'm going to go with this. And before you guys come at me in the comments saying that I didn't touch the engine, again, I'm not going to touch the engine because there's no tune out for it yet. And I'm definitely playing in the hand of this can definitely be a daily driver because we didn't touch the engine. So you keep the reliability. You're still under warranty for all of this stuff. And you weigh with the wheels and the carbon fiber hood probably 100 to 150 pounds lighter. So I definitely feel like this is a decent build for $9,000. Obviously we're a little over $9,000, but we're under 10 and that's all that matters. So I think I'm really excited to pitch this to Shane. I'm really excited to see what John came up with. So yeah, let's get right to that.
As you guys know how much I love Mustangs, I've been looking forward to this video. What is the Mustang's biggest rival? And it's not actually the Camaro. It's traction. Also, this is a 2024 brand new S650. Reliability, we really don't know how it is. So I'm like, I want traction, and I want to keep this motor reliable, and I wanted to keep the powertrain warranty. All right, so I actually just spent the $10,000 on the supercharger. That was it.
Damn, that's quick.
Right. No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
If you floor your car into drag mode,
We're not gonna talk about this.
If you floor your car in drag mode in the lowest possible gear
not talking.
at 60, will you spin?
My floor,
If you
I
do-
don't. But when it shifts, it does.
Okay, until what? Until when?
So I can spin
You-
at 60. Whenever.
Okay, so you can't spin at 60. Exactly.
When it
Anyway,
bangs that gear, that's when it spins.
so
It's also my shitty fucking. I have all seasons.
actually, the first thing I would do with my $10,000 budget is floor liners, which cost me $205. Now the next thing I do is wheels and tires. So I don't know the Mustang, I don't know the fitment, I don't know any of that. I first got to know what size wheel can fit on this. They sell box 255. Ford sells a 255 up front and 275 in the rear, and they sell 255 or 275 up front and 305s in the rear. The wheels that are 305s in the rear that Ford sells are on 30-inch. The aspect ratio is 30. The ones that are 275 in the rear, though, have an aspect ratio of 40. For shits and giggles, let me look at the actual rims. Long story short, you can buy, this is the cheapest OEM wheel I found for any car ever. Ford will sell you an OEM premium wheel. The 275s in the rear, $480 per rim.
Wow.
OEM wheel. And it's a pretty sharp looking wheel too.
Oh, I like those ones so much. Yeah.
Aren't there certain trims where that comes on them?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a premium. That's a premium wheel. That's a 19
So
inch.
that's what I picked out because I'm like, these are OEM wheels. They're factory backed. Everything works, right? The OEM wheel, it's $480. So times 4, that's $1,920 for all 4 rims. Center caps, account. High performance sway bars, $875 for front and rear. Well, like that's a combined price. Now I wanted to do a little bit of fun stuff, and I got the Mustang Performance Pack spoiler. Ford actually used it in a which I didn't know, wind tunnel. It actually does work.
Wow.
It applies real downforce. It's a functioning spoiler. I also got 1-inch lowering springs. Suspension isn't necessary because it would put me way over budget. The suspension is apparently really good suspension from factory. Does need to get lowered. These are Ford lowering springs. It lowers it only by 1 inch, and your muscle car doesn't have to be lowered because it's a fucking muscle car. And then the only other thing I got here is tint. What I have done is not adding horsepower at all. 275 is a respectful tire. You don't need to go wider because there are cars that have double the amount of horsepower that aren't wider. Stop the hop kit, all this other stuff, it is plenty. Your traction, and you're protecting the motor. How much does this all come together?
9,000.
$8,735.
Wow.
That's some wiggle room.
That was the wiggle room to play with, and I could have done a couple of other things. I chose not to because that number is without tax, the number is without shipping, and that number is also without installation. Mm-hmm. Because you could be a man and do it yourself, or you can be a I don't know why you're laughing. The way that I built this, I love the way that I picked everything out. I know that these parts are going to last because they are proven to last, because 9 out of 10 of these parts are made by Ford or Steeda. Anyway, that was my build. I really liked it. I liked the way it turned out. I liked the traction. I liked everything about it, except the car, because I'm not a Mustang guy. But I love him, and I like his Mustang.
We took a very similar yet slightly different approach.
Explain.
I wanted to keep the warranty. Didn't touch the intake because the intakes are super kick-ass on these. So if you know, you know. I did focus heavily on wheels, tires, suspension. Most of my budget is wheels, tires, and suspension. Mm-hmm. First thing I did, I know Mustang guys love this. MBRP 3-inch catback exhaust for $579.99. It was on sale. I think it was like $100 and something off.
So buy it now.
Then I wanted to look at the wheels, and I wanted to find the highest quality wheels for the lowest price while being strong enough to where you know they're not going to explode, basically. And I wanted to go lighter. My favorite color concept for black cars. This is just me
Chrome
personally.
or silver?
No, you're saying
No.
bronze.
Bronze.
I wanted the bronze. I wanted the bronze wheels. Ford sells the bronze wheels in that design. Mm-hmm. It's like
It's a lot.
Oh, $1,200 per wheel.
Dude, it's a
Is it
lot.
really?
It's
Per
so crazy,
wheel?
yes.
Okay.
That's because it's a package.
Bro, I wanted bronze on my wheels because Dodge sells brass monkey wheels.
Do they really do?
Yes.
I didn't know
Wow,
Bro.
that's the color scheme I want to do on the BRZ.
Brass monkey.
Is a black and bronze.
that
Brass
funky monkey.
That
funky monkey.
So I originally found a set of Apex wheels for I think it was $2,400, and I looked at the weight and I saved. I think it was like
How much do they weigh?
a stock Mustang wheel is about 30-something pounds, 32 pounds. It was roughly about 30 pounds. And I found that set for about $2,500 that was not on sale. They were flow forged and they were 19.9 pounds, I think.
Wow, yeah.
And then I found a set of forged wheels that were on sale. I think they were like $400 off. That were 17.9 pounds. So they saved a couple pounds
Damn,
extra there
17?
per wheel. And the whole set was on sale for $18.18. I checked a forum or two and saw that a couple Mustang guys were running something called Firehawk Indy 500s
Yes.
by Firestone.
I know you
It's
don't like
kind
them.
of a mix between. It's kind of a different. It's Firestone's version of the Pilot Sport 4. Here comes the money. They're Bilstein B16 front and rear adjustable coilover kit.
Ooh, adjustable.
They're $2,500. Yeah, I feel like it's really great if you pair these coils with the Stop the Hop kit. Yeah, it's we're $4,000 in at this point on just that, but I think if you focus a lot of you're making this car easier to drive. You're making it much more enjoyable to daily drive. I have the same spoilers, the same rear wing.
Like the Dark Horse one with the gurney
It
flaps?
claimed it was like a Ford Performance spec
Yeah.
wing, is what I found. It was like
Yeah, the
$300
performance,
something.
the cars on the like the
How much you
performance
got it for?
spec.
$368.
I got it for a band.
Really fun for a band.
where
They
did
have
you
a
get-
cheaper
It
one.
was a company. It was like
The cheaper one.
Mine's the actual Ford
I
one.
didn't write it down. I think it was like Mob Performance.
That's
or
why
something.
they're saying it's performance. It's not the actual like
Oh,
from
it
Ford.
says that it
The
was.
one from I got the one from Ford.
Yeah, that's the
I did
gurney
not
flap.
get one Ford.
I'm almost positive that's on
Mine
the Dark
comes
Horse one.
painted.
Mine also comes painted. The
Yeah, but
gloss
mine's
black.
from Ford.
That's true. Yours would be probably
Yeah, it's-
closer to the spec, but
It's probably better quality. Not probably. It's going to be
Dude,
better quality.
yeah, I feel weird mounting a fucking $200 wing on my fucking
Yeah,
car.
it's like.
I have a $200 spoiler in my car.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
your
yours is
spoiler's
different.
different. Yours is a ducktail. Ducktail's different than
true.
a wing.
Yeah.
I also spent $150 on a front splitter. I had money to play with. I was at like $7,800 at this point. I had money to play with. This is where I attacked the weight. For $1,377, that's $1,377. Mob Motorsport Racing Carbon Hood, and I got a carbon hood.
That's nice.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm very excited. Oh my fucking god!
Supercharger, let's go to red lights.
This is kind of like where I'm leaning towards. I have some of these things done to my car. I'm still not 100% I'm set on what I want to do in the future. First thing, tint. That's the first. Actually, no. The first thing I did was all weather floor mats. $150. This motherfucker put me on.
I did that shit,
Yo,
right?
he put me on. Ow, fuck. I'm little, dude.
I'm little, dude.
Yeah. Wheels and tires. So these are the wheels that I've been looking at because they have the right offset for my car that is recommended. The SVE DHP1 flow formed wheels. They have a forged wheel. It's the same exact thing, but it's forged. A little bit more, obviously. But these are brand new. Not brand new, but these are newer. And they look great. I would want black. The Nitto 555 G2s in the front, which are 275, 35, 19. And the rears are the Nitto 555Rs, the radial, which is in the rear, obviously. 305, 35, 19. That is at 15, 31, 13. What I did headers. On here, we're not doing headers because this is a fucking daily, alright? I'm not having my neighbors call and complain every morning when I start this bitch up. So, it's still loud, but I went with a Borla Attack axle back, 1,000 Beanaroos, roughly, with tax and shipping. This is a resonator delete. It adds horsepower. Guess how much it adds?
7.
It adds 1. Now, if you wanted to add 3, you can go with the H-pipe. 3 horses. Instead, we went with the 1 horse, and it's X-pipe, and it's a higher tone. Fuck with me. $5,180
That's a pair.
and 43 cents. I also forgot to mention something. We're taking out them back seats. That's 50 pounds right there, roughly. Now, like I said, I was going to do a seat to stop the hop, but then I went online, and I was like, look, I'm at $5,000 something. I have all this wiggle room. Suspension is one of the most important parts of the car. Lethal Performance Suspension Package, Steeda Edition, Level 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 parts of suspension for $4,167.43 right to your door. We got the Steeda lowering springs. We got the adjustable shocks and struts by
Rear
Steeda.
cam.
IRS bushings for to stop the hop.
K-member brace.
The rear IRS vertical link.
Bro, half the shit that I
K-member
say
brace.
is in this kit alone.
I know. This is
All right.
this is the stop the hop kit a little bit on steroids because it includes the suspension components like the lowering springs.
Well, I think as this should have went, this was a challenge. He definitely won.
Yeah, that's
how it should be. The guy who owns a car should have.
Well, I'm a Ford guy. I don't know anything.
The number one thing that I forgot to mention that I really looked for is I looked for a forged crank.
I think these guys did a really good job. This is not the platform. They don't like Mustangs, and I think they did a really good job.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Did you just chew it
Yeah, you chew those.
to get it out of your mouth?
I chew them all the time.
Dude, I just put it in his mouth.
I can down those things and like.
Nah, you'd be,
Swear to
I'd be
God. Yo,
sucking
give me
on
one.
them.
Give me
No,
one. I'll
no.
fucking down that bitch in like 2 seconds, bro. I swear to God.
You actually chew on those when you put them in your mouth? You can
No,
put 'em in your
okay, no,
mouth?
shut up. Come on.
I chew on them.
I think that's
At
insane.
work.
All right.